Welcome to the Little Beading Closet. I'm Sherry. I can't wait to show you this beading pattern using Half Tila beads and size 11 seed beads to make the liquid lace bracelet. These beautiful liquid lace bracelets were made using Half Tila beads with a luster finish, and I gave it a little toggle bar at the end that incorporates into the design of the bracelet, just so, for a perfect finish. They're so soft and silky, they really do feel like liquid lace when you wear them. So let's look at the supplies that we'll need to make this bracelet and begin. You just need a few supplies to make this bracelet. You'll need size 11 seed beads, Half Tila beads. These are Miyuki Half Tila beads, and see the description box below for the color. And luckily, for the toggle bar using Delica beads, most of those are manufactured by Miyuki also, so you'll have no problem finding coordinating colors for your bracelet. I do like using a Half Tila bead that has a bit of an AB finish or a gold luster. I think it just brings a little dimension to the bracelet and gives a beautiful shine when it moves around. I've been making these bracelets with Wildfire, and this is a 0.006, and I thought it'd be fun today to use this pink color. You don't want any stretch with this project, so make sure you choose a thread that doesn't have stretch, and also a color that coordinates with your beads. You can use a size 12 or 13 beading needle. You could probably use a size 10 also if you'd like. Go ahead and start with as much thread as you're comfortable using, because we will have to add thread later in this project. And we'll be starting with the size 11 and Half Tila beads. And the Half Tilas do have more of a top and bottom to them. If you look at it closely, you can see that one side appears to be flatter and the other side more curved. I did not handpick the side for the bracelet. I let it happen naturally. If it ends up being the flat side up, I'm fine with that, or if it's the curved side. If you want, you can make sure you pick them up all the same way, but I don't find it necessary. We're going to begin by working on this section right here, and then we'll move on from there, coming up, over, and down, working on the bracelet. We won't be adding this little part until the end. Begin by picking up 7 size 11 seed beads, 1 of the Half Tilas, pick up 2 more of your size 11 seed beads, 1 more Half Tila, and 3 more size 11s. It's just for the very beginning that we start like this. You're going to bring that down near the end of your thread. Leave about a 12-inch tail that you can use for the rest of the bracelet later. You want to go ahead and needle back through all of these beads and needle back through all of these beads one more time. After you needled around, continue a little further through all these seed beads before the first tila. Needle through the first tila that you come to, through the next 2 seed beads, and the next tila. So your thread will be coming out of the tila here, and we'll look at this as 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Go ahead and step up into the second hole of the Half Tila bead here at the 12 o'clock position. Go ahead and pick up 2 size 11s, 1 Half Tila, 2 size 11s and 1 Half Tila, and 6 more size 11s. Throughout the bracelet, we'll be working with 6 size 11s quite often. You just want to needle back through the Half Tila that your tail is coming out of. And go ahead and pull this together. Go ahead and retrace the thread path one more time And we need to needle back up here to the 12 o'clock position again. Since this is the end row of the bracelet, we're going to go ahead and shore it up by going through these one more time until we come out at the same spot we're at right now. I am finishing up that second pass through those beads, back up here at the 12 o'clock Tila position, and now I'm just going to go ahead and step into the second hole of it and pull my thread and needle through. Next, you'll pick up 2 size 11 seed beads, 1 half Tila, and 10 size 11 seed beads. Go ahead and needle back through the same hole on the Tila that your thread is coming out of and bring it around. Again, on these end units, I'm going to retrace the thread path 2 more times just so it's nice and secure, and make sure that I end up coming out next to the half Tila. Now that we've completed the 3 on the end, we'll be moving on to this next section. Go ahead and step up into the second empty hole of your half Tila bead, picking up 2 11s, a half Tila, 2 11s, a half Tila, and 6 more size 11s. Needle into the same hole that your thread is coming out of on the half Tila bead. The only trick on working with this bracelet is that you have to retrace your thread path one more time. So you're exiting the half Tila there, and you just want to make sure you retrace each thread path around the circle one more time. I went ahead and retraced this unit, ending up where I began, and now I need to needle down to this half Tila here, which is pretty much at what you would call the 6 o'clock position. So I'll come through 2 more size 11 seed beads and through this half Tila. Now you just need to step up into the empty hole of the half Tila, pick up 2 more size 11 seed beads, and come into the empty hole of the half Tila here. Next, you'll pick up 2 size 11s, a half Tila, 2 size 11s, and a half Tila, and 2 size 11s. Needle into the half Tila up here at the 12 o'clock position. Go ahead and pull everything through. Go ahead and retrace this unit one more time. Now that I retrace this unit and my thread is exiting where I began, I need to needle down to this half Tila down here at the 6 o'clock position. So once you've needled down here to this half Tila, go ahead and step up into the empty hole of it. Pick up 2 more size 11 seed beads and come into the half Tila here on the very first unit that you made. Next, pick up 6 size 11 seed beads, 1 half Tila, and 2 more size 11 seed beads, and needle into this half Tila here, which is pretty much at the 12 o'clock position. Pulling everything tight. Now you need to retrace this unit one more time until you come back to where your thread is coming out now. I went ahead and retraced it one more time, and now I'll have to needle along my beads until I come to this half Tila here, the one pretty much what we call at the 3 o'clock position. Now that I've needled around to this half Tila, I'll step up into the empty hole of it. Go ahead and pick up 6 of the size 11 seed beads, a half Tila, and 2 size 11s, 1 more half Tila, and 2 more size 11s. Needle into the half Tila that your thread is coming out of. Retrace this unit one more time until you're exiting the same spot. I retraced my thread path and I'm exiting the same spot. Now I'm going to continue needling around until I come to the half tila here at the 12 o'clock position. Once you get to the half tila bead that you use as a connection, don't forget you have to step up into the outer hole of it. I'm going to pick up 2 size 11s and a half tila, 2 11s and a half tila, and 2 more 11s. And needle into this half tila over here on your bracelet. And pick up 2 more size 11s. And needle back through this half tila, forming another unit, and retrace this thread path one more time. I retraced the thread path one more time, and now I just need to needle up here to the 12 o'clock position tila. Once here on this connecting tila, don't forget to step up into the empty hole of it. I'm going to pick up 2 size 11s, 1 half tila, and 6 size 11s, and needle into the empty hole of this half tila here on this circle section. Bringing all that together, picking up 2 more size 11 seed beads, and coming into the half tila. Just retrace this thread path one more time, and then go ahead and needle up to your half tila bead that you'll use to connect your other section. Once up here, don't forget to step up into the outer hole of that half tila bead before adding your next section. Continue working on your bracelet length until you come to the row just before your end. Since this is a little bit different, we can work on it together. Starting my last row, I'm going to go ahead and step up into the outer hole of my half tila, just like we've been doing. Pick up 2 size 11 seed beads, 1 half tila, and 10 more size 11 seed beads, and needle into the empty hole of your half tila in the direction opposite of what your tail is coming out of. Pulling all this next to your work. I'm going to go ahead and retrace this thread path 2 more times. And then needle through your 2 size 11 seed beads before the half tila and through the half tila. Step up into the empty hole of your half tila. On this unit, go ahead and pick up 2 size 11 seed beads and come into the half tila. And then pick up 2 11s, 1 half tila, 2 11s, 1 half tila, and 2 more 11s. This is the unit that we're going to be using to attach the toggle bar. So don't forget, here on the very end, this middle one will have a half tila. Go ahead and retrace this one 2 more times. I retrace this unit 2 more times, and now I'll needle into the 2 seed beads and the first half tila. Go ahead and step up into the empty hole of your half tila bead. Pick up 2 more size 11s and come into the half tila bead here on this unit. Next, you're going to pick up 10 more of your size 11 seed beads and come through your half tila. And just as we've been doing with the other ones, go ahead and retrace this unit 2 more times. I retrace the end unit 2 more times, and now I need to come through 7 additional size 11 seed beads. You'll be right here. You'll have 3 seed beads that you've not been through again, And at this point, we're going to pick up some more seed beads and come into the Tila here. Picking up 5 more size 11 seed beads, I'm going to needle into my Half Tila here. These are Toho seed beads. If you're using Miyuki, you may need 6. You just want to have sort of this curved shape right there. Picking up 5 more size 11 seed beads, needle into the 4th seed bead here in this section. I'll pull this together, and then I'm going to flip the work in my hand, coming out of the seed bead. I'm going to needle back into the ones that I just added and through my Half Tila, and continue through the 5 seed beads that you added on this side. Again, I'm going to flip the work in my hand and needle through the 4th seed bead here. Pulling everything tight. I'm going to retrace this one more time. Pulling everything tight, so you'll want to come back through the 5 seed beads and the Half Tila. We're going to leave this thread right here. And this is what we're going to use to attach our toggle bar. For the toggle bar, if you're well versed in odd count peyote, I'm doing 15 beads long and 8 rows wide. To make the toggle bar, we're going to be using our Delica beads now, and I went ahead and put 15 on my needle. So it's going to be made up of an odd count peyote. I'm going to take these 15 and bring it down near the end of my thread and slip on a stop bead near the end by putting it on my thread, and then just taking the tail and going back through that bead. Go ahead and bring your 15 Delicas next to your stop bead. We're just going to start our peyote stitch. Pick up 1 Delica, and you don't go into the one on the end, but the one just beside it. I will pull my thread and needle through, holding on to the 2 Delicas on the end, and you want them to sit side by side. Sometimes it just takes a little coaxing with your needle and fingers to get the first ones sit in the right position. We're almost there. Now you can see the 2 on the end are sitting side by side. Picking up 1 more Delica. You're not going to go into the very next one. You skip the next one and come into the one after it. Go ahead and pull your thread and needle through. And now you'll have 2 sets side by side. We're going to continue that up to the end. So again, don't go into your next Delica, skip it, and come into the one after it. I like to take my time and carefully do this step. Again, picking up 1 Delica, not coming into the next one, skipping it, and coming into the one after it. As I'm doing this, I'm also trying to keep my thread and beads to the same side. So the new beads I'm adding are all on the right hand side. Picking up 1 more, not coming into the next one, but the one after it. Again, just taking my time and pulling my thread through and letting those beads sit side by side. Picking up one more Delica, skipping the next one in line and coming into the one after it. Picking up the last Delica for this row, I'm going to have to needle down into the top one just here. And again, I want these to sit side by side. Sometimes you just have to coax it with your fingers or your needle. An odd count peyote, you have to do a special turnaround to be set up in the right position to add your next row. We're going to step down into the single Delica bead here in the middle. And then I'm going to step forward into this one here. And then I'm going to step back into the one beside it. Now I'm going to come back up through this one here in the middle. Step up into the one here on my left and needle down into this very last one that we had added. Go ahead and pick up a Delica and you'll be placing it in the empty spot that's formed between the two Delicas sticking up. So we're going to continue with that all the way down this until we come to the end. I'm going to add my last Delica down here at the end of this row. Picking up one more Delica, I'm going to come back up into the one that is sticking out. And again, place one Delica between every sticking out Delica, coming back up to the end. Picking up my last Delica that would sit here at the end, I have to needle to the left back into this top Delica and then coax it into place with my fingers if need be. I will then come down to the row below it to the right and pull my thread through. And then I will step up into the bead just beside it on the left. Then needle into the middle Delica here. And come down into the first one here on this row. Again, you're just going to be picking up one Delica and putting it in the spot formed between the two sticking up Delicas all the way down. I'm adding the last Delica here in this row, coming through the one on the end. And again, we're going to be coming back up one more time. So just go ahead and place one Delica between each one. back up here at the top, picking up my last Delica for this row, needle back into the one up here at the top, coax him into place to get him to sit right beside, and then I'm going to come down into the Delica on the right underneath it, step beside it into the Delica beside it, then I'm going to come up through the Delica, not on the end but beside it, and then needle into this Delica here on the end. Go ahead and place a Delica bead between every sticking up bead down this side. Now that you added your last bead and have come through the end, we're ready to turn this into our toggle bar. I'm going to go ahead and slip off my stop bead at this point and just take my little strip and fold it together. We're going to be zipping up the two sides. So coming out of this one on the bottom, we're going to needle into the one just beside it. So now we're going to kind of zigzag from the right to left, going through each one that's sticking up. So I'm going to come through this one here. And then on the other side, I'll come through the one sticking up, one above it. Give that a tight pull together. I'll come through the one sticking up on my right, one row up. Come through the one on the left side, sticking up. Again, step up into the sticking up one on the right side. Step up into the one sticking up here on the left side. And just repeat this down to the end. I'm almost to the end. I'm going to needle into the last bead here. Go ahead and turn my work now. So both of my tail and my working thread are coming out of the same bead. I want to needle into the one just beside it. And then needle back into the one that both my working thread and tail were coming out of. Oh, if you want to embellish the ends on your toggle bar, go ahead and needle down through the center of your work. So So we have our toggle bar, and you can embellish the ends with some crystals or anything that you feel would match your bracelet well. To embellish the ends of my toggle bar, I'm going to pick up a 3mm bicone crystal and one size 15 bead. This is optional. If you have something that you like and want to do that, you can, or you can keep it plain. Skipping over the 15 on the end, I'm going to needle back through the crystal and all the way through my toggle bar. And this will sit here on the end. So for the other side, I'll go ahead and pick up my other 3mm bicone crystal and a size 15, pulling that down next to the toggle bar. I'm going to skip the 15 on the end and needle through the crystal, through my toggle bar, and back up through the crystal on the other end. Pulling everything tight. Just needle through the 15 on the end and back through your crystal, through the middle of your toggle bar, and through the crystal on the other end. I'm going to go ahead and needle through the 15 here on the end. Back through my crystal, down into my toggle bar, and up through the crystal on the other end. I've made so many passes through my crystal that I can't seem to needle through it anymore. So at this point, I'll just go ahead and trim off my tail. I went ahead and put the needle on the other end of my thread, and I'm just going to come into the Delica next to where it was coming out of and needle through a few more of the Delicas before I trim off the tail. Just make sure that you're needling side by side through the Delicas so you don't have any thread path showing. And then I'll go ahead and snip this off. To attach your toggle bar to your bracelet, you'll be coming out here next to your Half Tila. Pick up 2 of the size 11 seed beads and needle back through the Half Tila. So you have the 2 seed beads here at the end of your Half Tila. Go ahead and needle through one of them here. Pull your thread through. Pick up 2 more size 11 seed beads and needle down into your other size 11. And then needle into the 2 size 11 seed beads sitting here on the left. Pick up 2 more size 11 seed beads. Needle down into the 1 seed bead on your right. And then needle up the 2 size 11s here on your left. Now I am going to go down into the one on the right, just one, and come up the one on the left. To attach the toggle bar, you want to find your middle Delica. If you look at your toggle bar, you'll see that one row will have 8 Delicas long and the next row will have 7 Delicas long. Find one of the rows that have the 7 Delicas, and you're going to have 1, 2, 3 Delicas to this side and 3 Delicas to this side, and the middle point of connection will be the Delica in the middle, which is the 4th one. So it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Come to this 4th Delica. That way your toggle bar will be even on both sides. Bringing that down next to this, you can go ahead and come down 2 of these size 11 seed beads on your right, and needle up 2 of the size 11s on the left. And again, needle through the same Delica from your toggle bar. If it seems hard, sometimes it's just about getting the right angle on your needle to get through there. I'm going to repeat that a few more times. This time I'm going to come down all 3 of my size 11 seed beads on the side. And through the Half Tila. Up the 3 11s on this side, and I should be able to get through that Delica on my toggle bar one more time. Once I've come through here again, I'm going to needle into the first 11 here, and add a half hitch knot between the 2 11s. I'll needle through my next 11. And then come over to my other side, needling through the 11. I'll go ahead and put a half hitch knot over here. And just bring my working thread down through the next 2 size 11s. And then I'm going to trim it off. To finish off your bracelet, add a needle to the tail that was coming out the other end and pick up 12 size 11 seed beads. And needle into the 4th size 11 over here on this last unit. So there's 1, 2, 3, and come through the 4th. Now, turning the work in my hand, I'll needle back through the 12 seed beads that I just added. Again, I'll turn the work in my hand. Make sure I come through this 4th seed bead. So go ahead and retrace this end section as many times as possible that your tail allows, and then add a few half hitch knots down here along the way to finish it off. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial on making this liquid lace bracelet. I hope it's one of your new favorites and you make a few different ones, enjoying your Half Tila beads. As always, thanks for watching and have a beautiful day.